presenters for anything?
Mrs. Erica.
Hello and welcome to the East Blampieder Township Public Meeting. All participants are now informed that this meeting is being recorded. This meeting is also being offered virtually utilizing Zoom, which is a cloud-based platform for remote video and audio conferencing. The Zoom application is free to the public. The general public is therefore able to join the meeting by connection through the internet or by calling in by phone. The public is also able to observe the meeting on the township's YouTube channel. Please continue to check the township website calendar for any updates related to these public meetings. Agendas for these public meetings will also be available on the township's website. Please be reminded that this meeting is being video and audio recorded and will be posted to the township's YouTube channel for viewing. The meeting will now proceed with the chairman calling the meeting to order and identifying all other members present in the meeting room and those joining the meeting via Zoom. The chairman will then confirm those members joining by Zoom can be heard.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Call to order the May 12th, 2026 East Blampieder Township Planning Commission, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I move the John. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For the tape this evening, we have John Thompson to my far left, John Blowers to my left. Sarah Ryder is by Zoom, and I assume, Sarah, you can hear us.
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. And then we have Tara Hitchens substituting for Jacob, who is on paternity leave.
Yes,
Oh.
Jacob and his wife had a baby boy on May 6th.
Congratulations, get there first. That's exciting.
Emily Ovitz, who is our administrative assistant. And I'm Randy Patterson, chair. With that, we'll move to the approval of the April 14th, 2026 minutes. I did give a couple minor changes to staff on the first item of new business. It's Ryan Martin's business that works with High Foundation, and he doesn't do yard work, he does advertising. I mean, he may, but he does advertising work. And then last is our adjournment time of 7:44, not 8:44. Good.
Sounds good to me. I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes as presented.
Second from John. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We have no old business this evening, and we have no new business this evening. We do have some briefing items. That's why it's you.
Ah.
I don't know why. I thought the one was new business.
Right.
Okay. Please. First was 1724 Lincoln Highway.
1724 Lincoln Highway. This is the old Richmond properties down there. So a lot of different uses have tried to go into this property. This is called Soups Are Salad. Did go through zoning hearing board. It was provided a use variance because it's wholesale distribution. And now they have started work on the existing building. However, this is now an addition of a loading dock to the east side of the building. So that there can be two loading spaces. Are you able to see that?
I don't see it. No, it's not coming up on the screen.
It should be
I'm
shared.
just seeing all of you.
See it now, Sarah.
No,
Well, did we tell you?
Randy, you
I still can't see it.
Randy is having fun at your expense there.
Yeah.
My eyesight's not as good as it used to be, Randy. Okay.
Was it last year? When did I start working here? It was last year. It was last year.
Sarah, do you have the electronic packet that was sent?
I do. I just have to find it. I can see your screen now, but it's just showing like the Zoom information. Hmm.
Well, Sarah, it looks like someone took them off of the computer,
Oh, okay.
so we're not able to share them.
Okay.
I apologize.
That's okay. I scroll through my 12 million emails and I will be able to find it.
It should be actually from Lee, if you,
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on vacation last week, so I have a lot of emails.
Thursday or Friday.
It's email dated next week. And you would have got on 2:09 PM.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why isn't this showing?
Yes, and it's from Leo does.
And what day was it?
May 8th,
Okay.
it landed in my email 2:09 PM.
I did because I opened it. I'm just not sure why I'm not seeing it anymore. What happened to it? Hold on. I don't want to hold you up, so you can keep talking.
okay, but that's really all I have to say about that. A lot more to say about it.
I thought you would like to ask for some modifications and waivers then.
There are some modifications for the waivers being asked for, if I remember correctly. Actually, no, there are not, because they needed the zoning. Right, sorry.
John was commenting, in fact, there's a sinkhole called out.
Yeah, there's a few questions to be answered.
I can't read the writing to the right of that sinkhole. Phew. It's like in fluorescent yellow. I have no idea what it says, but
Yeah.
Anytime I see a property in this area is getting work done on it, can we take another look at like highway occupancy and traffic study stuff?
So this particular site had an access to the neighboring site to the west, but the prior Board of Supervisors closed that access. Didn't require the access to be maintained.
same to the property to the east.
The property,
Sundance.
yeah, yeah, that would be Sundance.
I'm in now, so I can see it.
Okay, so you see the small proposed loading dock addition, and then there's 2 loading parking spaces.
Yep.
And that is really the extent of the project.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, if you're okay, I'll continue the next one.
To,
101, 117 Winter Road. This is 3 parcels that are currently owned by all of the same individuals. There's approximately 10 acres. They are moving lot lines here in this case. So there will be 3 resultant lots against the about 10 acres. The 1 lot reduces by about an acre. The other lot increases by about a half to 3/4 of an acre. And the 3rd lot increases by about a quarter of an acre.
Does the house go with one of these?
So there's a house on resultant lot 1 and there's a house on resultant lot 2.
Driveway that goes back to, it goes back to Fred's house. The Clark's.
His prior house.
Oh,
Didn't realize Fred.
Daughter
okay.
is the.
So there's a farmhouse out along that drive as you go back towards,
Yeah, that's a separate property.
that's not 101 or 117.
No, so 117 is the house that sits back and that you really can't see.
See the roof.
Right. And then the other house that's part of this is further
North.
north,
Beyond
further south,
south.
yes, towards Target, sorry, yes, towards Target.
I did the walkthrough on Google just to see it, trying to figure out what was what. So, okay.
Okay, so just a couple of things that I picked up on when I reviewed this quickly, and I'm sure Jacob will too when he's back in the swing of things, is some sewer easements that need to be addressed, and because they cross over the property lines at this point now with the proposed lines, so some different easements will be needed there. And then I think that there's wellhead easements that will be needed for 117 because the wellhead preservation area goes over 101. Okay, the last one. Right, 2571 Cedar. This is Christian and Rachel Ash's property out there. This is an interesting property. This has a private street right over this on it. That's correct. The property that, when you look at the plan, is all the way to the top of the plan labeled A. That's actually a different owner. That and a relative, but that property has a septic system that traverses over into Christian Ash's property. That will, if the easement isn't already existing, it does say there is an easement, but I haven't found it yet in the record. So if it doesn't exist, we'll need to exist through this plan. And then there's showing a force main into the house. I think there's some labeling issues that are occurring here because there's also another septic system on the Christian Ash property. So I think we just need to have a conversation with the consultant about how all of this may be labeled or identified on the plan. So the intent is to subdivide 1.1 acres of what I'm going to call the middle. So there's the property at the top, and then there's the middle house, and then there's the farmhouse. If you go along that roadway, does that make sense? Okay, so this would be subdividing that middle house off of there. If there's not existing a right-of-way maintenance and easement agreement, we're going to need that in place for this property as well for these property owners. And then we're going to need to take a look at the riparian buffers in this area. If I recall correctly, Christian Ash was in with a plan in like 2017 or 2018, a little while ago, But I think we had a deferral agreement for the riparian buffer at that point in time. And so we'll need to do some research on that to determine whether or not that the board should require that to be planted at this point. There was something else that came to mind when I was reviewing this. Oh, this too will need the wellhead protection easement because of the way they drew the property line. Okay, so this one has not been reviewed yet by township engineer. I suspect this letter will be next week and lengthy.
Is family all doing this, staying in these?
I honestly do not know who resides in the dwellings.
They're not coming with a rezoning request of some
They're
sort,
not coming with a rezoning request.
just subdividing these three.
The other thing that's going to need to be researched is how many subdivision rights remain on the property. Whether or not that can actually move, the subdivision can move forward. I did not get to do that investigation. And then if they can, then how many remain after that and which lots are they assigned to?
It's three dwelling. And multiple barns,
Multiple ag outbuildings. There are 3 structures marked as dwellings. I do not know if any of them have been converted to 2-family. Which was an allowance in our ordinance. Prior to 2016.
Are there 3 wells on the property? I've only seen 2 wells highlighted.
I only saw 2 wells noted on the property.
Okay, but you said we're not changing anything with property A.
Nothing with property A is changing.
So, they just may not call out.
They may not have, however, because it's coming into question with the
So what's that?
easement to get to the property,
Right.
it should be noted.
Yeah, the property at the north doesn't show any well at all. So there's,
There's a sewer system that's gonna.
It traverses across the line, yes.
Wouldn't leave much.
How do you get a secondary system?
Yes, exactly, because there's like a tribute, there's a floodplain there, so you can't.
That's correct.
Then you need a reserve area. The driveway there, so part of your sewer system is underneath your driveway, mess. Jeez.
As I said, it's just the review.
this is gonna be, yeah, full.
It's very terrible, so everything's gonna be wet, there's a floodplain there, and you can't. Huh. Why are they requesting this?
That I don't know. There's it in the file. What we received is the plan and the application. There's nothing else.
I read this, okay, well, this doesn't really tell me.
So you have as much of that.
Thank you. Well, that's clearly it.
Oh, I have for you tonight.
I want to be home by 8, by 7:30. About 20 years. Yeah. Okay.
These guys. Hopefully keep them.
Right, or we can return them and we'll
You recycle them for us.
recycle them for you.
It's 51% of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not habitable.
Half of it, this, a little more than half, 51%. You're talking about my recyclable rate in Canada.
We have no other business, I'm assuming. Motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
John,
Second.
Don? All those in favor say aye.
I'm.
Opposed? So moved.
Thanks,